Hello and welcome to KMTV, your roundup of what's going on in Kent on Monday, July the 20th. Parents have pulled their 3 children out of a Midway school after their 9-year-old son was bitten in the lunch queue. Graham Stothard reports.
We all expected a bit of pushing and shoving in the lunch queue at school when we were younger, but when one mother was called to her son at Twiddle Primary School and Nursery and found that he had been bitten, well, that all proved too much. Lauren Dono was shocked to see the other pupil's teeth had penetrated son Bobby's school jumper and damaged the skin.
I was at work, and when I left work, Bobby had already sent me a picture on his iPad of what had happened, and he said it hurt, Mum. So I felt really sad for him, and that I didn't know what to do for him.
She said it wasn't the first time one of her children had been hurt at the school, and as a result decided to send all 3 to a different primary. When asked about the incident, the head teacher, Mrs. Pratt, said the situation was dealt with quickly and necessary action was taken. She also said they were sad to see the children leave and wished them all the best in their new school. This is Graham Stothard for KMTV in Twiddle.
A leading animal charity has successfully smuggled a fake dog into Kent as part of an undercover investigation into puppy smuggling. The Dogs Trust took a crate across the channel 3 times, and while the microchip and passport was real, the dog inside was just a toy.
We've just taken Mitzi through the check-in at Eurotunnel Pet Passports. This is Mitzi's permission to travel.
The Trust say paw checks are making it easier for breeders in Eastern Europe to bring dogs into the UK before they've had vaccinations for things like rabies. The government's been asked for a response. Kent cancer patients are receiving mobile treatment for the first time after the closure of a chemotherapy service.
The background to having to temporarily relocate patients with chemotherapy treatment is because we have a national shortage of chemotherapy competent nurses, and we are feeling that in East Kent, and it's difficult to recruit to posts. We've got a large vacancy factor, and for patient safety reasons we felt that we had to make the decision to temporarily transfer non-complex patients to the mobile chemotherapy unit and more complex cases to Kent and Canterbury Hospital. It's going reasonably well. We're obviously talking to our patients, making sure we're getting feedback from them and supporting them in the best way possible. And obviously we're going out making sure that they're aware that we're sorry that we've had to make this decision and action, and sorry for any inconvenience and distress caused.
Change of faces, change of location, different system. That I just felt that maybe it was going to be a problem, but obviously no, it's not.
Less waiting, straight in, and get the attention that I require. But the staff are brilliant, whether it's here or in the main building. They've all been excellent.
I thought it might be bigger. In my head I was thinking it'd have to be quite big to cater for the number of patients that might have to be dealt with here. But it's actually bigger than it seems from the outside. Don't be worried, because I'm the worst worrier and I've been put at ease straight away today, so I'm happy and I'm smiling and I'm going to get a cup of tea.
In other news, it's emerged a pensioner who died after being hit by a car near to the cricket ground in Canterbury knew the driver of the vehicle. The 75-year-old died a fortnight after the accident, which happened while Kent were playing Australia. Kent's Police and Crime Commissioners called on the government to reimburse the force for the cost of dealing with Operation Stack. Anne Barnes has written to the Transport Minister saying it's cost more than £700,000 as it's been put in place 4 times over the past 3 weeks. And a controlled explosion's been carried out after a World War II bomb was found by a metal detectorist on a beach in Herne Bay. And finally, World War II tunnels deep below the White Cliffs of Dover are being opened to the public for the first time since the war. Jem Collins went to take a look.
This is what probably comes to mind when you think of the White Cliffs of Dover. But from this morning, visitors will also be able to see another view of the iconic Kent landscape from more than 20 metres underground. Forgotten since the Second World War, these labyrinth of tunnels were commissioned by Churchill to accommodate almost 200 officers and men before being decommissioned in the 1960s and filled in during the 1970s as part of a programme to remove war eyesores.
So when we first discovered the shelter, the entrance was a very, very small hole. In fact, you used to brush your shoulders as you came in, and you'd descend down 3 staircases into the main body of the shelter. The shelter was in fantastic condition when we got down there. It was really a time capsule from the Second World War.
Taking more than 50 volunteers around 18 months to reopen, visitors will also be able to see 2 uncovered sound mirrors, one of the first early warning devices for oncoming enemy aircraft. And littered with wartime graffiti and artefacts, the tunnels also remain largely unchanged from their wartime days.
It's amazing. I mean, basically you're walking in footsteps of history. I mean, at the end of the day, we're following the 172nd Tunnelling Company and the 238 Pioneer Company. We're mirroring exactly what they did 75 years ago, and that brings a certain spine-tingling sensation, really. I mean, it's an absolutely amazing project.
This is Jem Collins in Dover for KMTV.
There's more local news on KMFM, and you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, but that's it from KMTV.